After you hear my story, you're going to know for sure that if I did real estate, you can too. I grew up in a small town in Illinois. There was only 3,700 people. And, I grew up in, very low income family. A few years ago, I was talking to my dad, and he told me that, he said, hey, between me and your mom, we never made over $30,000 in a year as you kids were growing up. So at that point in time, my dad couldn't find a job, and we were on food stamps. Not something that's fun. If you've ever been through that, it's it's humiliating. It's definitely not a fun thing to go through. My dad growing up, he always said, don't ever buy a house. Always rent. I was not given any special gifts when it comes to financial genius or anything along those lines. I had a lot to overcome. I thought I was the broke kid, and that's kind of how I always saw myself. I went to college mainly just to play college football, and I did that for one semester. After the end of the semester, my GPA was 0.7, and so they asked me not to come back. I wish I could tell a cool story of how I dropped out of college and went on to become a multimillionaire, but the reality is they did not let me come back. I had to find a different way. Now, I still became a multimillionaire in the process, but it was just a little bit different path. I was 19 years old at this time, and my dad told me, he's like, you got to get a job. And I'm like, well, where should I look? He goes, well, there's a machine shop right in town here, and they're always hiring. So I went down to the machine shop, filled out my application, got a job, and started in a machine shop at 19 years old. Now, I did that line of work all the way up and through about 30 years old, a little after. And I didn't think you could make money. I thought, well, if you get a good job, that's the money you make. I didn't know about starting my own business. I didn't know about real estate. In fact, I thought real estate was bad based on what my dad had told me. I'm up late one night, I see an infomercial, and I bought a book on real estate. That was my entree into the real estate investing world. Now, I fell in love with that book. I would read it over and over and over again, and I believed I could do real estate. I did my very first real estate deal. Now, when I bought this book, I had about $700 saved up in my savings account. I had $20,000 in credit card debt, but I had good credit. Not that you need credit for doing deals. Most of the deals that I do don't require credit, but I do my first deal in 30 days. I did another one next 30 days, and another, and another. And long story short, this is in late 2005, I did my very first deal, and within 3 years, I left my job. I had enough cash flow that would pay my bills, whether I worked or not. I had about $5,000 a month in cash flow after all expenses were paid, and I was able to leave my job. I went full-time into real estate in late 2008. Economy crashed. Some of you guys that are younger may not remember that, but in 2008-9, the economy crashed. Unemployment went to 15% in some areas, and the stock market got cut in half. People's 401ks were slashed in half, and the real estate prices got crushed. And that's when I really made my move. Now I have all my time, plus I have experience, and within about 4 or 5 years from '08, I had about 450 houses that I owned myself, that put out cash flow every month, and I was basically set up for what most people would consider forever. And so that's been my path ever since that time period. And here we are right now. It's 2020, and I'm still doing deals every single day. I have a big team now, although I have my team set up very automated. I work less than 5 hours a week in my real estate business. We flip between 20 and 30 houses every single month, and have for a decade plus. But I don't have to be involved. I have systems. I have virtual assistants all plugged in. I have a team built that they run the company without me. My main job in the company now is just watching the top line KPIs and just watching the numbers. So that's kind of my story. I'm here right now to teach you guys how to do the same things that I've done. If you think that because you don't have any money that you can't do it, you're wrong. If you don't think that you have experience, so that means you can't do it, you're wrong. This is a skill that can be learned. I've had a lot of people learn real estate that have gone on to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and some people thousands of deals. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of the success stories I've created, and I'm here to help you as well. We'll talk to you soon.